Train your puppy to love his crate. The process that I use to get a dog to love his crate, or at least want to go in his crate, is called micro-shaping. Many people just call it shaping. What I do is I click and treat a dog for any slight movement toward the crate. So maybe in the beginning, if they just sniff the crate or sniff in the floor on the direction of the crate, I might click and reinforce that. Once they get their paws in the crate, then I'm going to be clicking for them staying in the crate and possibly getting a third or fourth paw or going all the way completely in the crate. With this training method, it is all about the dog's choice. So the dog makes a good choice of advancing toward the crate or getting in the crate or looking at the crate. Every time the dog makes a good choice, I'm going to click and reward that. Now, eventually, you of course want him completely in the crate. So as he's in the crate, I'm going to keep clicking and reinforcing that behavior because that is what I want. When it's okay for him to come out, I'm going to use a hand signal and say a release word to get him to come out. Make sure that you use a high-valued reward. In this case, I'm using string cheese. With Blue, I also used raw, freeze-dried Stella and Chewy's dog food and hot dogs. He loves those a lot. So make sure that you use things that the dog really loves and is willing to work for. You might eventually notice that the dog decides that, oh, this is a really great place to be, so I'll just hang out here. You will eventually have to use your release word and encourage him to come out. I think Blue would have stayed right here getting treats as long as I would have let him. What a cute little boy. When you play little training games like this, you're teaching the dog many things. You're teaching him, first of all, how to learn, and you're teaching them that new things or things that maybe they thought were kind of scary or that they didn't like are actually really wonderful things. So this crate, in the beginning, Blue wasn't really fond of his crate. He would go in there and he would be a good boy, but he never went in on his own, and I wanted to make sure that he really loved it. So I decided I would do some training sessions with him in his crate. Once Blue starts going in on his own, I need to start decreasing the amount of treats that I am going to give him in there. The only reason I want to do this is because I want him to learn to stay in there eventually without having to have treat after treat after treat. Now, because I waited too long, Blue decides to come out on his own. So I'm not going to reinforce that, and I'm going to wait till he goes back in. Now normally I might just wait until he's in there for a little bit longer, but I'm not sure that Blue really understands the whole process, and I want to go ahead and make sure that I'm reinforcing him for being inside the crate. So when he did go right back in, I did click and reinforce that. I just want to make sure that he understands that being in the crate is what's getting him reinforcement, and coming out of the crate when I say to come out. Now that I'm standing on the left, it's almost as if Blue does not understand what he's supposed to do. It's almost like we're starting completely over. This will happen when dogs have not generalized a behavior yet. So Blue does not really understand that going in the crate is what I want him to do. However, it doesn't usually take very long for a dog to generalize, but you will need to practice the same behaviors or the same things that they know in many different situations, many locations, and with many different distractions going on. This way the dog can generalize that, yes, this is the behavior that I'm supposed to do. A few extra training tips. Build a positive association with the crate, so do not use it as punishment. If you really need your dog to go in his crate, do a little training session and let him earn reinforcement for going in on his own. Take your time and be patient.